Bro, damn. It's another busy vlog. Busy Green Hats, episode 1. I'm gonna tell you that I'm busy. I'm annoyed. Fucking hate this car. I'm so busy, I gotta eat while I'm driving. Otherwise, I'm not gonna have time to eat. When I say I'm busy, I'm actually busy, unlike some people that say they're busy when they really aren't. I gotta eat. Because if I don't eat on the way, I'm not gonna be able to eat again until like 3 p.m. Fuck that. There's a cat in the middle of the road. Hi, kitty. Meow. Say hello to the kitty. Kitty. So with this busy driving vlog, I might have just made myself late by stopping and saying hi to the kitty. Nope, apparently I'm still gonna be like 4 minutes early. Whatever. I don't believe you, because my route says I will be there 4 minutes early. Now it's saying I'll be there 3 minutes early. I just wasted a whole minute apparently saying hi to the kitty. Kitty. It is around 6-ish a.m. Who gets up this early on a Saturday? Apparently me. I don't really care what days I get up. You gotta do what you gotta do. It was annoying because I had to wear earplugs last night. I had to go to bed at like 8 because I don't want to be fucking tired. I'm sick of being tired all the time. And it was Friday night last night. I had to sleep early at like 8. And my roommate's fucking spastic, hyperactive, annoying, retarded dog was just barking non-stop because they were fucking with it. So I was like, fuck this. I'm using earplugs tonight. And voila, peace and quiet. I'm used to wearing earplugs when I sleep anyway. Because back in my old house, I lived like right next to an Air Force base. And just, there was just fucking jets flying over my house every damn day. There were times where it was so loud that it would make my house vibrate a little. It gets so loud sometimes having those jets flying over my head that like when I'm outside trying to talk to someone, like I can barely hear the person talking in front of me. Like, you can barely fucking hear yourself talk. Sometimes it gets so loud and obnoxious. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that anymore, because there were times where those jets would be flying around, just like flying around and around and around over all the neighborhoods, because the Air Force Base was like 6 miles away from my house, and their fucking flight pattern was directly over my neighborhood. What else is new? Stupid person, the stupid real estate idiot that made me move into the house didn't give me a heads up that I'm directly underneath a flight pattern of the stupid Air Force Base. By law, they're supposed to tell you that you're under a flight pattern of these stupid jets flying around, but they didn't tell me that, otherwise I wouldn't have moved there. Because at my last apartment that I was in for 5 years, it got that bad sometimes over there too. Not as frequently, I didn't notice it as much, but it was worse at my house. And they didn't warn me about it before I moved in. So I had to deal with that shit for like almost 2 years. It's bullshit. And they would be fucking flying around as early as like 6 or 7 in the morning on like the days that I was trying to sleep in for once. So that's why I got used to just using earplugs. Like whenever I would go to bed, I would just use earplugs, because if I had to wake up to some dumb bullshit like that, it's gonna ruin my whole day, because whenever something wakes me up, it takes me forever to fall asleep again. I wish that Google would stop giving maps cocaine. Like, I bitch about this almost every time I use shitty Google Maps. But I'm tired of every time I touch anything, or I try to zoom in or out on something, I press on something, I search something, and it just spazzes out non-stop. It quickly zooms in, zooms out. It does this, it does that. Or like, I try to scroll over here, and it just like does its own thing and scrolls back over to where I am. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? Stop giving maps drugs, damn it. Screw Google Maps. Every time I have to use Google Maps, I say the same damn thing. Screw Google Maps. I'm probably not even gonna upload this video for like several days after I make it because I'm so fucking busy all the time. Like, the only time I have to make this video is to just record it while I'm going over to work. And then I'm just gonna fucking forget about the video for several days because I'm too fucking busy. Hence the title of this stupid video, Busy. Being busy. Because all I really have time to do is talk about what I'm doing. But by the time I actually get around to uploading this stupid video, it's gonna be like probably 2 or 3 days later. Don't even have time to fucking eat. That's why I hate mornings. This job is exhausting. Like, it's not physically exhausting, it's mentally exhausting. It reminds me of that old job I had years ago at that RV compound where I had to deal with hundreds of people going in and out every damn day. It reminds me a lot of that, except this job is like 10 times more complicated. And it's also really far away. This job is like fucking 16 miles away. That RV compound job I had was like literally right across the street from my apartment. So yeah, it's usually a pain in the ass for me to sleep. So like the times where it's like, hey, I think I'm actually gonna sleep, and then there's always some fucking noise going on. Like at my old house, it was either one of my dogs barking, because I had a dog and a cat. I had 2 kitties and a doggy. It's either one of the fucking dogs barking, or those stupid jets flying overhead all damn day. They'd be doing that as early as 6 or 7 in the morning, and there have been times where I've heard those jets flying around as late as like 11 at night. Like, I thought quiet hours were after 10. Like, after 10 p.m., shut the fuck up. Otherwise, it's considered noise pollution. You're disturbing the peace if you're still being loud after 10. But no, I guess the government can get away with it because it's the government. Screw you! Have some common courtesy. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, asshole. So I didn't have to deal with that anymore. But now, I have to deal with another hyperactive, obnoxious fucking dog that barks constantly. It's like every time my roommates are like throwing balls around, because they love balls apparently. That dog, like, when that dog gets hyper, it is so fucking loud. Like, that's probably the worst part of it. It's just loud and obnoxious. Like, when it just barks non-stop. It is so fucking loud. Like, I can't even be around it because it gives me a fucking earache. You can hear it throughout the whole house. Like, it's one of those dogs that is just loud as shit. When it starts barking, it just goes non-stop and it's loud as fuck. Just fuck, it gives me an earache. So last night, the fucking dog was barking again, because I guess they were fucking around with the dog. So I have to get up early. And if it was me doing that, they'd be bitching at me. It's not fair. Life is never fair. I know life is never fair. So I'm like, screw you. I'm using earplugs. I'm not playing around. I'm not dealing with drama. I just want to go to bed, because if I go over there and say shut the fuck up, then I'm going to get stressed out and then I'm not going to sleep. It's just going to be counterproductive. So I'm just going to put earplugs in and go to sleep. If I didn't have to get up super early the next day, I wouldn't give a shit. But it's hard enough for me to sleep as it is. It's like if I get stressed out more, it's going to make it more difficult for me to sleep. And surprisingly, I actually slept last night. So whatever. I'm not really going to complain about that. I don't really care about the dog barking or whatever, because I just put earplugs in and there was no problems. Like, surprisingly, I actually slept. I don't remember, like, rolling around for several hours like I normally do. I think I fell asleep pretty quickly, which is really rare to say because that doesn't normally happen very often. But whatever. I try to have a curfew now of like 10 p.m., like no later than 11 at the latest. But the only reason why I can't keep a sleeping schedule like that, like I try to go to bed at an early time. Like, let's say I have a set time to go to bed, which is 10 p.m., because that's the time I've always went to bed. Back when I was a little kid, I would always go to bed at 10 p.m. I could never stay up past 10. I would always fall asleep by then, because I would always get up at like 6 or 7 or 8 in the morning. So by 10 p.m., that was like my limit. I would just fall asleep by then. There were times where I would just fall asleep on the couch, and then I would just wake up in my fucking bed when I was like 6. When I was a little kid, I just remember times where I would fall asleep at like 9:30 at night, and I would wake up like at 8 in the morning the next day, and I would be in my fucking bed. And then when I was a teenager, like around 14, I think, or 15, that's just when I noticed, like, I started having insomnia. What changed? I kept going to bed at the same time. I kept going to school. I kept acting stupid. Nothing in my life really changed. So clearly I'm the one who changed when I was going into teenhood. So what changed? Seriously, what changed? Because around when I was like 14 or 15 years old, I suddenly just started having random insomnia all the time. Like, I would go to bed at like 10 p.m. because I had to go to school the next day. I'd go to bed at the same time I normally do. It wouldn't matter how tired I was. Like, half the time I would sleep, the other half the time I wouldn't. So every time I would have to get up at like 6 or 7 in the morning to go to school, I'd be so fucking exhausted all the time. People thought I was a tweaker because I was just so fucking tired all the time at school, and I would just avoid everyone because I wanted to get the day over with and go home. And the part that always annoyed me was I spent the whole day at school being super tired, falling asleep. I would just face plant on my desk and fall asleep like 2 or 3 times throughout the day during my different classes. Hey, there's a tear. I would fall asleep like 2 or 3 times throughout the school day. I would just like fall asleep on my desk. Even though I would never actually sleep, I would just close my eyes and like rest my eyes because I couldn't keep my fucking eyes open. So I spent the whole school day feeling exhausted. I couldn't even keep my eyes open sometimes. But as soon as I get out of school at like 2 or 3 or 4, I think at one of my schools I was done at around 4. Because I got there at like 7:30, I think, or either 7:30 or 8, I don't remember, but we were done at like around 4. But whenever I left school, I was still tired, but I didn't feel like I could keep my eyes open. Like, I didn't feel like I was gonna fall asleep anymore. I just felt kind of normal, kind of tired, not the kind of tired where I couldn't keep my eyes open. So I just ended up staying up the rest of the day. I never really took a nap or anything because I didn't feel like I wanted to sleep anymore. But then it's like, okay, well, I figure since I went the whole day being tired and I couldn't keep my eyes open, but somehow when school is over, oh hey, now I don't feel as tired anymore somehow. That makes no fucking sense. But what do you know? It's time to sleep again. So it's around that time, 10 p.m. So I go and try and fucking sleep again. And what happens? I end up rolling around for like 2 or 3 fucking hours. By the time I finally go to sleep, it's already like 2 or 3 in the morning. So I have to get up in like 4 hours. And then the whole toxic, annoying cycle starts all over again. I spend the whole fucking day being exhausted because my stupid fucking body won't sleep. Like, with most normal people, when they're tired, they sleep. They lie down in a dark room, they lie down on a bed, they close their eyes, and they sleep. And they actually sleep. They don't just stare at the ceiling, or they just roll back and forth for like 2 or 3 straight hours. There were times where it would take so long for me to fall asleep at night, I would just say, fuck this, I'm getting bored and irritated. I would just get up and go do something else. I'd go do the dishes or go play a video game or watch TV or something. Because I got so fucking bored of just sitting there like pretty much staring at the wall. So I figure if I'm not gonna sleep, I'm gonna go do something else. And then basically the next day, it's just another day of being sleep deprived as usual. I'm just wondering what changed. Because when I was a kid, I had no problem having a sleep schedule. There was only like 1 or 2 times when I was a little kid where I actually stayed up all night until sunrise. I stayed up until like 6 in the morning because I was playing Sly Cooper on the PS2 and eating pizza and drinking Sprite with a couple of my friends when I was like 6 or 7 years old. I stayed up until the sun came up. But other than that, like, I had no problem sleeping. I would go to bed. I could never stay up past like 10 unless I had like a reason to, like I was excited, like my friends were over and we were playing a game or something. But even that was like that one time that we were eating pizza and drinking Sprite and playing like Sly Cooper and some other games back then. Like, that was like I think I only did that once or twice where I stayed up until like the sun came up. Other than that, like, I normally never stay up past like 10 or 11. But then as I transitioned into being a teenager, it just makes no fucking sense. Like, I can't sleep. Like, half the time I can't sleep anymore. It doesn't matter. It's kind of a 50-50 kind of thing. Like, last night, I guess, is like the 1 or 2 days a week that I actually slept without any major struggle. But after that, it's kind of a mixed bag. Like, it's a 50-50. Half the time, I'll sleep without any serious problems. The other half the time, I'll just like be rolling around for several hours. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter how tired I am. None of that fucking matters. Like, it's basically, my body is like retarded. It doesn't understand what sleep is. It doesn't understand what tired means. Like, my body isn't capable of understanding that I'm tired, I have to go to bed at this time, it's nighttime, time to go to sleep. My body doesn't understand that I'm supposed to sleep. I'm just wondering, like, what the hell changed? Because nothing really in my life has changed. So clearly I'm the one who changed, and I don't understand what about me changed where I just have this chronic insomnia bullshit now. Maybe that's just how it is. Maybe like when you grow up and you start going through like hormones and like your mind changes, like your mentality changes, your desires change, you think about different things, different stuff that you want. Maybe that just affects your sleep cycle. Maybe for some people that can cause insomnia problems. Who knows? Maybe it's all speculation. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But either way, I'm gonna finish my fucking food before I get to my job. And I can't do that when I'm fucking making this stupid fucking video. So stay tuned for more videos. Fuck off.